My name is Bobby Brooks. Join me as we take a look into the paranormal community. We will talk with both experts and investigators, as well as go to haunted locations, where we will learn the history and try to find what goes bump in the night. You are watching Voices from Beyond. Good evening. Thanks for tuning in. We are on location at Mineral Springs Mall in Alton, Illinois, getting ready to sit down and chat with Janet Kohler, Wayne Hensley, and Crystal. They are in charge of Mineral Springs Haunted Tours. Come on in. Check it out. I'd like to take this time to introduce the owner of Mineral Springs Haunted Tours, Miss Janet Kohler, and our resident psychic, Crystal. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
How have you been?
To be here. Very good, thanks.
Good, good. Well, we are now standing in front of the most infamous staircases in Alton. Can you tell us a little bit about these stairs and why they're so famous?
Yes, this is the stairway that a lady died on, and we call her the Jasmine Lady. She manifests by a smell, an extreme, very sweet smell of jasmine perfume, which was very popular during the time that she lived in the early 1900s. And she was having an affair and was in the hotel here, and her husband discovered what was going on. He followed her to the hotel, and a terrible argument ensued, and she either fell or was pushed by him down the stairs, and she died on this very staircase.
That's so sad.
Yes, it is.
It's a tragic story of all directions. It's just really sad. Now, have you ever seen this spirit before?
I have not. Some people have reported that they saw her, and on one of the tours, one person said that they could see the pattern in her dress.
Now, I've smelled the jasmine walking through here numerous times, sitting out in the lobby, coming up the stairs on a tour. I've smelled it. Crystal, with having your psychic abilities, do you ever pick up on her here?
I've smelled her several times, and I saw a white figure follow us up the staircase. Not this one, the other one before.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Now, I gotta ask, what has drawn you guys to this place?
It's just magnetic.
It is. It's the most wonderful building, and I almost feel like I had a previous life here. It's an incredible building. Just the feeling in here is amazing.
It is definitely a welcoming feeling. I've never felt not welcome in here when I came in to shoot for the calendar, when I've come in for different reasons or just to investigate with my team. This is one of the places that I've always felt welcome at, and I enjoy coming back all the time. Can you tell us a bit more of the history of the building when it was built and everything?
The building opened in 1914 as a 90-room hotel, and the owners had discovered a spring that runs under the building, and the spring water was very rich in different minerals, and that's why it was named Mineral Springs. But it became a very well-known spa, as well-known as some of the ones in Arkansas. And people came here for mineral baths and treatments. There was a resident doctor on the staff, and people got treatments here.
Amazing, amazing. Well, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna head down to the men's pool with historian and tour guide Wayne Hensley. Stay tuned.
Low-hanging branches? Loose limbs? Storm damage? Don't risk climbing up that shaky ladder. Let Alton Tree Service do it for you. Fully insured with over 11 years of experience, protecting your home and family is what we do best. From trimming to complete removal, there is no tree we can't handle. Contact Alton Tree Service today for a free, no-obligation estimate at 618-977-1413. From its birth in 1931 on Broadway in Alton to its new home on Homer Adams Parkway, welcome to Alton Refrigeration and Home Furnishings. Alton Refrigeration and Home Furnishings earned its outstanding customer service reputation in servicing major appliance brands such as Maytag, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Frigidaire, Samsung, and more. When you think about it, Alton Refrigeration is about providing you with years of comfortable living with worry-free brand name products.
Red or black, silver or gold, new or used. At First Mid-America Credit Union, they know options are important to you. That's why they've made relationships with local dealerships where you'll receive all the extras with First Mid-America Credit Union's low rates and financing done on the spot. All you have to do is decide what you want. Your car, our loans, they're made for each other. www.1stmidamerica.org or call 618-258-3168 to speak to a representative.
Hey, I'm Philip Adrian Booth, and you're watching Voices from Beyond.
Well, welcome back. We are now in the men's pool with historian and tour guide Wayne Hensley. Can you tell us a bit about the history of these pools?
Well, the pool opened up in June of 1914, and every week that summer they literally had thousands of people swim. It cost 10 cents. This was the men's pool, but it was also used by men and women on occasion. The women's pool was only 4 feet deep and really was referred to as a wading pool.
So that's why they had the difference between the men's pool and the women's pool?
Yes.
Because the women couldn't swim?
Well, the women could swim, but in those days they thought at that time it was more sanitary to swim in the nude. So they didn't really want to mix men and women together.
Right.
So the
Now
men continued to swim into the nude in the nude at the YMCA up through 1960.
Wow, that's something I didn't know, a bit of history. Now, what is the story that happened here in this pool, the urban legend or the
Okay. Well, actually, there are stories of 2 drownings. A little girl whose family rented the pool for her birthday party. It was approximately her 10th or 11th birthday party. And she invited all of her little girlfriends, and some of the mothers came as chaperones. She was having a very good time, and she was running, and her mother was yelling at her not to run. "Cassandra, don't run. You're going to fall and hurt yourself." And she was an obedient young child, but she had too much energy, and before long she was doing it again, and she was running. She tripped, fell into the pool, hit her head on the hard concrete, really had head trauma. Her mouth opened up, her lungs filled up with water, and just like that, she was dead. And her name was Cassandra. She was probably one of the most active ghosts in the building. She does something practically every ghost tour.
And I've actually had personal experiences with Cassandra down in this area and on past tours that I have taken with a marble. Can you tell us about the marble?
Well, in the 1920s, and that's when she died, marbles was really a very popular toy for both boys and girls. My first experience with the marbles was about 6 years ago. We had a seance here in the swimming pool, and I asked for spirits to come forward, and it only took about 15 to 20 seconds, and a marble started rolling across the floor in the pool. Now, it was dark here. We were working by candlelight, but you could hear that marble. It was very loud. And that continued to marble, and then another marble. They were rolling back and forth. And finally, when the seance was over, 2 young girls that were participating, approximately 11 years old, each had a marble because they stopped it with their foot. A couple people actually saw the young girl, Cassandra, down on her hands and knees trying to play marbles with those 2 young girls. The marbles were quite different from anything I would see today, or even whenever I played marbles back in the 1950s. They were much smaller, and I was curious about them. And I run the barbershop here in the Mineral Springs. I've been here 31 years. And if you really want to know something, if you want an answer to something, you can just wait for an expert to come in. It's like Google. Eventually an expert will come in. A man who operated an antique store came in. I showed him the marble. I said, "Can you tell me anything about this?" He said, "Yes, it's an industrial marble." And I said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "Well, they put them inside of cans of spray paint. So when you shake the can, it mixes the paint." After hearing that, I looked through the building. There was a storage room directly above the pool full of empty cans of spray paint. One or two of those cans that I shook, there was no marble in it. That's where she got them. She literally reached into the can, took the marble out, and came down here to play.
And the cans were still intact and everything.
Yes.
That's really interesting. So are there any plans of reopening these pools?
I've been here through 4 owners, and every one of the owners always plays with the idea of opening the pool. Unfortunately, the numbers probably don't crunch.
Right.
Everybody who really enjoys swimming today could buy an above-ground pool.
Right.
They don't go to pools where you pay to swim that often. They belong to health clubs that may have one, or the YWCA here in Alton, but it would really cost a lot of money to open this up again. And the idea would be to use the water that was used at that time, because the spring is still under the ground here.
Oh, really? I didn't
Yes,
know that. I thought for some reason
1,450 feet under limestone bedrock, that spring still exists. Now, if they pump that water up, one of the problems would be it contains sulfur, and sulfur smells a lot like rotten eggs. Now, back in the 1920s, they put up with that because they thought it had a healing property about it.
Right.
But I don't know if they would today.
Right. That's interesting. I don't know if I'd want to swim in egg-smelling pool. Just personal preference. Now, I have one more thing I want to touch on, because I took a tour through here. It was a Friday the 13th tour in 2009. It was my first actually encounter in here. And you told a story about the women's pool, on how something with the orbs kind of line up. Can you share that with us tonight?
Sure. We get something that's rather unique. A lot of paranormal groups and a lot of so-called experts really debunk orbs. And from my experience, most orbs probably have nothing to do with the paranormal.
Right. I'm not a big orb believer at all.
If you can see through them, most likely it's moisture.
Right.
If they have a dot in the middle, it's maybe an insect or dust. But when they're solid, when they're like the full moon, I look at them a little different. And in the woman's swimming pool, if you stay down there long enough, you'll get very bright orbs like the full moon, and they'll start lining up in a straight line. Now, we know there's no such thing as straight lines in nature.
Right.
So that had to have some kind of thinking behind it.
Right.
So our theory is, and that's all it is that the Sunflower Island, where they had prisoners from the Civil War that were going to die with tuberculosis, when that island went underwater, those spirits probably didn't stay there, and they came to the first limestone building that drew energy, and that would have been this building. It wasn't a hotel at that time, obviously.
Right.
But they would have come to this building, and perhaps they're in the basement of this building. Now, a lot of times we get orbs telling us to get out. Sometimes they use the word Yankee. And naturally, it's a theory, but all of this is a theory.
Absolutely.
And if they line up in a straight line, you would have to remember that, especially in the Civil War, during battle, they would line up in a straight line, both sides, and they would shoot at each other and walk towards each other. So that might have been a defensive mechanism, trying to chase us off or warn us to get out, or maybe, naturally, that's just a theory. It does happen, however, at Gettysburg. The same thing.
It's one place
Orbs
I do
line
wanna
up
go.
in straight lines.
Well, thank you so much for sharing some history with us down here. When we come back, we're going to go over the movie of the week, and I'm going to get my cards read by Miss Crystal. Stay tuned.
I'll grab the birthday cake, you bring the gift, if you're sure she's ready.
She's 16, honey, and she's earned a set of keys.
She's studied and practiced, I know, but it's a big responsibility.
When you have a teen driver, it's good to know that Madison Mutual has the insurance coverage you need.
She's ready, and so are we. I talked to our Madison Mutual agent.
Call Barry Macias, your local independent insurance agent, at 467-2874.
The more life changes, the more you need Madison Mutual.
Why should you bring your vehicle to Quick Lane at Roberts Motors? You never need an appointment, just drive on in. Quick Lane has the guaranteed lowest tire prices around. Plus, we perform a multi-point inspection of the critical items on your vehicle at no charge every time you visit. Ford, Chevy, Toyota, or any other make, Quick Lane can service it. We're even open on Saturdays. Stop by Quick Lane at Roberts Motors today. Come see why life is better in the Quick Lane.
In today's economy, everyone's looking for an encouraging sign. That's exactly what you'll find right here at my State Farm office in Bethalto. I'm Tom Lane, and for 86 years, State Farm agents like me have been helping you protect the things that matter most. That's why more people trust State Farm, and why we consider that a very good sign.
Call Tom Lane State Farm office in Bethalto at 377-8912 or go to tomlaneagency.net.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
This week's movie of the week I have chosen was Alfred Hitchcock's 1960s classic Psycho, starring Anthony Perkins, Vera Miles, John Gavin, Janet Leigh. This movie is about a woman named Marion, an office worker who is fed up with the way life is treating her. Marion is trusted with $40,000 to put in the bank, and she sees this as her way of getting away from the horrible life that she lives. While on the road, a terrible storm comes through and she is forced to exit the highway. She finds the Bates Motel and decides to stay for the night. The motel is managed by Norman, a young man who seems to be dominated by his mom. Some of the trivia is, this was Alfred Hitchcock's last feature film that he did in black and white. For the infamous shower scene, Hitchcock had a 6-foot in diameter shower head made up so that he could get the angle that he wanted to while the water sprayed past the camera. And also third, Marion's white 1957 Ford sedan is the same car that the Cleaver family drove on Leave It to Beaver. Some of the famous quotes from the movie is, "My hobby is stuffing things," "Death should always be painless," and "We all go a little mad sometimes." Mineral Springs Haunted Tour has many upcoming events. You can go to www.mineralspringshauntedtours.com for more information. They have the dinner tours, the overnight investigations, and they also have the cemetery walking tours with Wayne, who we had earlier tonight. Also, June 1st, there is going to be a very large event here, an overnight investigation with a meet and greet with Jody Parks of Paranormal Hot Squad and also the winner of Paranormal Challenge. The Booth brothers, Philip and Christopher, are going to be here as well. There are limited tickets, so if I were you, I would get on this right away. You can go to www.past/tv/networks.com and get yours now. Make sure you tune in next Friday as we reveal all the evidence from Milton School and Mineral Springs. But for right now, I'm gonna go get my cards read, and then we're gonna hunt a little bit to see if we can get any spirits in the Mineral Springs. Till next time, happy hunting. Now, what's the best card to get?
The wish card.
The wish card?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. It starts off showing that your business adventures are going to go very well because it shows you being a lady with enterprise. What's crossing you, it does show that there is some kind of like a restraint holding you back. Part of that is your own doing. You have to break out of that. It takes a little strength, but you need a little bit more confidence, okay? These are showing that in the past we had you juggling your emotions. And
the truth.
well, it shows that you started off a new business adventure, but it was kind of high and low. So you just kind of had to learn how to balance it. There is a little bit of negativity around you right now. And again, we have the juggling. So you still have to do a little bit. moving things around, a little bit of motion. But then it shows you coming into control of finances. So part of this new venture has to do with finances and getting that balanced.
Yes.
This is the fear or the desire, meaning that you are about to go up a level with more initiative, and you will have the power to cut away confusion and control. But it is a warning saying, be gentle with your tongue. That's the sharpest weapon that you possess. So be careful of what you say to people. Now, I kid you not, your outcome card is tied in with this one. But this one is your wish card.
I get the wish card. Yay! Sorry.
And it's just saying, don't let it bring you down mentally, meaning be careful of how you word your wish. So be careful of what you wish for. Make sure it is worded correctly. And your wish will be coming through in just a couple of weeks.
Oh, neat. Yay.
Any questions?
Nope. It's pretty right on. Or at least I hope so about the wish card. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.